Welcome back to another episode of GL Rustic Design. Today we're going to be working on a picnic table. So the first step is I cut down all of my stock. As you see here, once you cut the pieces that I cut the 30-degree angle on each side, or the ones that you see here, they will act as the legs. So make sure that you cut so that they're flat on the bottom, flat on the top. And then you'll line up the 2x4, which all of the cuts I will put in the description below instead of me trying to remember all of them. The 2x4s and deck boards is all you need. So here you just attach the 2x4s. Make sure that you line the legs up on the angled inside piece, so it's flat on the top, and then the leg is angled. The cut that you see on the side, the bottom of the cut is where you'll angle that up. I use 3-inch torch screws here. You could use screws, or you could use carriage bolts. I just had a whole bunch of screws laying around, and so here you're marking off. It's gonna be right at 11 inches, where you'll put this is where the bench on each side will go. You can also move the legs in a little bit more if you needed to give yourself a little bit more room on the bench. I was still able to fit both deck boards on the side. So here again, I used some 3-inch torque bit screws. You could also use carriage bolts here as well. So you'll do this step times 2, one for each side, and then here we are adding both the benches, or the bench support. Towards the end of the video, you'll see where I added some little wings to support the back end of the piece. So here, just line up in the middle, or I think it was about 8.5 inches from the leg, which, like I said, I will link all the measurements below. And while I have a second, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out as far as the whole YouTube goes. I would greatly appreciate it. Try to upload videos more frequently. So here, the bench seat, the first one, I just put some 2.5 inch torque bit screws in those, and then so from there you can attach the middle piece. It's going to be the same length as what you cut the outside 2x4s on, and I just kind of space these. Some plans call to use pocket holes here, but I know the wood's gonna shrink, it's gonna move. I don't want it to crack, so I just drilled through the top since it's gonna be outside. And I later came back and I filled all these holes in with wood filler. So here, same thing, 3-inch screws through the top. You could probably use 2.5, just whatever you have laying around. This is for, use the screws 2 per board for the middle, both for the outsides. And then once you get that step done, you have to support the top somehow. So I just angled a piece. I don't know the angles. I used a pin. You can see some of my other videos of just kind of same way how I do an X. I just kind of line it up. Here, it's roughly 20. I think it's 20 degrees, roughly somewhere in that number. So I just used two screws here to hold that piece on the bottom, and then from the top, you could also make it a little bit longer to stretch to the middle piece. The plans that I used, the measurements they had didn't quite work, and of course I went by, I didn't make my own measurements, and it burned me in the end. But here, like I said, just drill through the top, make sure that everything came out sturdy, and here you go. Here's the finished product. A quick, easy picnic table. You can see the support beams there underneath, all the screws that, like I said, I later came back and filled with wood filler. But I hope y'all enjoyed this little short video, and thank you for watching.